In spite of the fact that ratings for the first episode of the new season were significantly lower than those for prior seasons, a close friend of Frank Fritz has maintained that American Pickers is not the same without the fan favorite. On September 30, Frank, who was 60 years old at the time of his death, took his last breath 2 years after having a stroke that required him to undergo rehabilitation. After a disagreement with his co-star Mike Wolfe, the fan favorite made his final appearance on American Pickers in the year 2020. He had reconciled with Wolfe at the time of his passing to make his final appearance. Jerry Gendreau, a close friend of Frank's, shared with the United States Sun in an exclusive interview how the series has not been the same since the absence of the actor. The show, in my opinion, is not even close to being as fantastic as it was. Given the ratings, it is not necessary for me or anyone else to be the one who is thinking that. The entire country is aware that it is not what it was. It was essential that Frank be there. Frank would have eventually returned to the show if it weren't for the stroke, according to Jerry, who had previously shared this information with the United States Sun. Michael was the one who conceived up the idea for the show. Jerry remarked that Mike was astute enough to realize that the show would be a success with Frank performing. An analogy that I would use to describe Mike and Frank is that they are similar to Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. It is possible that Jerry Lewis, Frank, was even more vital for the show than he might have been otherwise. Being the Jerry Lewis all the time is a really difficult task to accomplish. If Frank hadn't been dealing with his health problems, I believe he would have returned, and he did have a number of significant health problems. Between the ages of 25 and 30, he began to experience the symptoms of Crohn's disease. This bowel condition, known as Crohn's disease, is characterized by inflammation in the digestive tract. An explanation was given by Jerry regarding how Frank's spontaneity contributed to his popularity among viewers on the show. He was truly the comedian who popped out with some of the weirdest and dumbest things that you just go, "Wow," Jerry added. He was a true comedian. He left his imprint on the annals of history. Akirai says in Ratings, Mike and Robbie Wolfe, John Jersey John Chalet, and Danielle Colby were the stars of the debut episode of the 26th season of American Pickers, which aired on October 9. During the first episode, which lasted for 1 hour, Mike, who is 60 years old, was seen searching through Evel Knievel memorabilia, which included a one-of-a-kind billboard from his Snake Canyon jump. However, the program did not succeed in attracting a large number of viewers, as the United States Sun stated that only 565,000 fans tuned in. Compared to season 25, which began with a premiere of 2 episodes in December 2023, this is a decline from that season. Traditional Car Cemetery attracted a total of 723,000 viewers, while Hidden Cash Stash, the second installment of the premiere, saw a decrease in viewership who tuned in to watch the third episode, and those figures remained relatively stable for the remainder of the month following that. The number of viewers reached a staggering 948,000 by the time the show aired on January 24. Throughout the most of February, the numbers continued to decline, with the lowest rating being on February 14 with 774,000 viewers, and the greatest rating occurring on February 28 with 966,000 viewers. There were 832,000 people who watched the final episode, which aired on March 27. Did you honor Frank? The series paid respect to Frank by airing episodes that included the fan-favorite character, who had starred on the show from 2010 to 2020. This occurred on the day that the series premiered. However, when the first episode of season 26 was broadcast, many were disappointed to see that there was no mention of him. There was no dedication to Frank on the season premiere that took place yesterday night, according to a fan who posted on Reddit. I feel like they should have at least made a title card at the end or something to honor him. Extremely disrespectful. "The show was dead to me, and it continues to be dead to me," another commenter said. "I saw the title card on one of the Frank-centric reruns last night, but not on the new episode premiere," a third individual wrote. It was Frank's last bow. Since Frank had to leave the show in order to recover from back surgery, the last episode he appeared in was in March of 2020. A total of 185 sutures and 2 rods were placed in his spine as a result of the operation. Over the course of his vacation, Frank was able to shed 65 pounds and take steps toward leading a healthy lifestyle, including abstaining from alcohol. Mike confirmed that he was officially terminated from the series in 2021, despite the fact that he had intended to return to the show following his absence. At the time, Mike expressed his sentiments by saying, "I will miss Frank, just like all of you, and I pray for the very best and all good things for him on the next part of his journey." As Frank said in an interview with the United States Sun in 2021, "I haven't talked to Mike in 2 years. This event occurred after the 2 individuals had a disagreement. Despite the fact that he was aware that my back was infected, he did not call me to inquire about how I was doing. But that is the way things are. I have a feeling that Mike is trying to persuade his brother Robbie to take my place in the position. I am really perplexed as to why he is acting in such a manner toward me." Following Frank's stroke in July of 2022, the two were able to make amends with one another. In the moments leading up to Frank's passing, Mike and other loved ones were present by his side. A reminiscence of Frank. Following Frank's passing, American Pickers made the following statement on social media. "We are saddened to share that our friend and beloved member of the History Channel and American Pickers family, Frank Fritz, has passed away on September 30, 2024. Over a decade was spent by Frank filming the show American Pickers. Not only will we never forget the bearded charmer, but we will also never forget his never-ending search for vintage motorcycles and bikes."